Hi everyone, I'm Lynn Vartan from Southern Utah University. This is Cushman. He's joining me to help me out, and we are talking about the 2021 Utah All-State Audition Snare Drum Etude. Okay, so let's get into it. Again, if you want to just hear the etude, you can go to the end of this video, but we're going to give you some tips and tricks so that it can help you with your preparation. All right, first thing is we want to talk about with this one is tempo. It is fast, and it's important that you get right in that sweet spot. Because of this, you're going to be really wanting to use tons and tons of wrist, of course, but also some finger strokes. That's going to really help you out on like the fast sixes to kind of whip those out. You want to sort of throw and kind of whip those and get your fingers to going through. But 168 to 176 is the tempo. Make sure you're really on that. And it is a very quarter note tempo. It's not really thought of in one or anything like that. Really 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The other thing about this piece that's really important is to really manage your accents. So we all know the accent rule, but I want to refresh your memory in case. Generally speaking, accents should be about one dynamic above whatever the marked dynamic is. So in the beginning, if you marked it pianissimo, those accents should only be piano. So that whole section is pretty soft. So one dynamic above only, and be really clear to identify that. Rooftop accents can be like 2 dynamics above with just that extra pop. Okay, stick choice. Whatever sticks you have, that's great. We're just going to tell you a little bit about what I think we both have Cushmans. What are yours?
These are the Gramercy Johns.
Gramercy Johns, those are going to have a round bead. You'll hear that works beautifully for this. Actually, a round bead is a really great choice. The ones that I have are a different model, and they have like a little bit of a more bullet kind of point on the bead, which is also fine, but I would recommend something along the lines of what Connor's using, the Cushman Graham Johns, or anything with a really round bead that's going to give you that really nice tight articulation on it. Okay, music stand placement is another thing. With snare drum, when you're preparing your audition etudes, consider putting the stand in a place where your camera is going to still give you a great shot of your playing and of your hands. So we have this camera set up for both of our shots so that you can really still see us play, still see Connor play, and it's not in the way. We also have the stand pretty low. Once again, this is just mostly for audition purposes. In a true band situation or orchestra situation, you would have it higher to see the conductor, but in this case, having it nice and low so that we can see you is really what we're looking for. Okay, let's talk about general flam quality. The sound, and we've got 2 different drums. This is a deeper one, and then this is a much shallower. Oops, snares off. So for flam quality, you know, flams for orchestral playing are not quite as tight as marching band style flams. So if you're used to playing in a lot of marching band, you're gonna have super tight flams. For orchestral playing, you can open those up just a little bit more so that you get the sound of like chut. You kind of want to think chut, 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 chut. On this drum, that's kind of the quality. Here's what it sounds like here. So not too tight. You definitely want to get a little bit of space in there. And be careful that your flams in your recording sound as much the same as possible. Beware of flat flams. All right, last kind of general thing is roll quality. So we're of course talking orchestral and buzz rolls, and I just want to kind of give you a general rule of thumb. That true pressed orchestral buzz really should be used from basically the pianissimo dynamic up to like mezzo piano. So super soft press, same thing on here, super soft press. Above the mezzo piano dynamic, like mezzo forte and above, we really want to open up that roll and get into not really a triple bounce, but moving towards a triple bounce. So a much more open quality to the roll, quadruple bounce, that kind of thing. So it's a very different style. If you press really hard at those upper dynamics, it's just not quite as full, not quite as broad. So open them up a little bit so you've got more space between strokes. Thinking about 4 quadruple bounce or triple bounce even is a good rule of thumb. Okay, a couple of little things specifically to this piece. What kind of roll meter should you use? Generally speaking, I love a 3 for this. So we're going to basically be doing triplet metered rolls. And Connor's going to be demonstrating that as well. So let's start with a little bit. There's only a couple of exceptions, but Connor, would you maybe just show for us like right where the forte starts on line 3? And what he's going to be doing is playing, so without the roll it would be, he's playing triplets the whole time. But then rolling for it. So he's going to show you that passage with the rolls. Great. Now, one of the things that presents is it puts you on a weird hand. So here's what I recommend. So starting with the forte in the 3rd system with the roll, you're going to start right-handed on that. And then the next measure where the triplets start, you're going to start left. Then you'll start the roll again. So this is the 4th system. You're going to start that roll with the right, and then 4th system, 2nd measure. You're going to start that with the left. Then the next measure, you're going to do roll with the right, triplet with the left, roll with the right. So you're always going to be starting the rolls with the right hand. So that's kind of a little tips and tricks in case you're wondering how to meter those. So all 3s through there. There is one exception, actually 2 exceptions to that. At the bottom of the 1st page, at the fortissimo, you're not really going to want to be doing 3s for those. So those are going to be 5 strokes all the way through those 8-note rolls. So Connor, would you mind demonstrating for us just the last line of the 1st page? Yeah. So those are 5-stroke rolls or 2 16th notes in the meter there for those. So without the rolls, for that. That's one exception. The second exception is at the top of the 2nd page. And we were talking about how to describe this. We're just going to say smudge roll it, I guess. There's 2 ways to interpret this. So this is the last measure on the 1st line of the 2nd page. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a 5-stroke, and then you've got this dotted quarter roll. There's 2 ways to do it. The way Connor is doing it is he's doing really 5 notes at the end of that. And then ending with the sforzando on the left. So that's like a little smush of 5 roll strokes in that dotted quarter roll. There's another way you can do it too, which is a slow at a time 4, which is, so that's another exploration. The advantage of that is you end up on your right hand. So that's a little bit different. Connor, show them your way.
Just that far?
Yeah. One more time. And make sure you really pop that sforzando. So 2 different ways to do it. You can either the dotted quarter roll at the top of the 2nd page, last measure. You can either do 5 roll strokes for that or an out of time 4, depending on how you want to release. If you want to release, if you can release left, loud for the sforzando, you can use the 5-stroke that Connor was doing. If you want to release right, you can do that slow out of time 4 that I was talking about. Okay, a couple other things. Back on the 1st page, we have a 4-stroke ruff. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line. That 4-stroke ruff, you can do a lot of different stickings for that. You can do right, right, left, right. You can do all one hand, left, 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 right. You can do right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right. There's tons of stickings. But because it's the only 4-stroke and it's preceded by a rest, I would recommend actually to single stroke it. Use nice finger strokes and then really pop that out so that you can get it there. So that's my recommendation for that. Okay, and then we just have a little bit of a sticking. We talked about most of them. I think that we covered it. The sticking at the very, oh, I know. The 2nd page, 2nd line, 2nd measure. Okay, you've got this did it, 1 E, a 2, and a E and. So natural sticking for that would be right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. That's fine. Actually, I prefer just doing not natural sticking for that and just doing right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Sounds a little bit more forward and a little bit more in the character of the piece rather than that's a little too kind of round and all that. So, okay, I think we've given you all of our tips and tricks. I hope that was helpful. And now Connor's going to play the piece for you.